if you want to run the spring, go ahead. But be
the other
aware.
part I like about them, Jeremy, is that you can get different rates, and that's one thing you can't do in the rubber bed. Minis have always been undersprung in the front. That's the reason why the back wheel comes off the ground when you're going around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they really actually made the right rate or whatever in the rubbers, your car would actually handle it better.
Well, that's why there's
That's the
front.
part I like about the springs. Plus, the springs will still be springing in 20 years, and you'll be throwing your rubber ones away.
That's why there's a front and rear. These are progressive and they are different. So that addresses what Warren was talking about. The next thing is get your suspension geometry accurate. You know, an adjustable lower control arm or on-car adjustable lower control arm adjusts your camber. And you know, this is one of the really important things about getting your suspension geometry correct. Adjustable lower arms and adjustable tie rods. After you put the see the factory ones have non-adjustable tie rods and lower control arms. The rear camber and toe brackets. Now, with these three parts, you can go down to, we've been going down to Garth at A&T Tire, Trackside Motorsports. He's awesome. He's got the only machine we've found that will do 10-inch wheels, a 4-wheel laser alignment machine for 10-inch wheels. And he's done, I'd say, at least 100 minis for us now. And you can roll in there and say, Garth, line it up for me. And you don't even tell him what to do. He's just on it, and he'll do it. And he's done it in less than an hour.
You've been there since he got his new machine?
Yes.
There.
Awesome.
What is it, Harrison or something like that?
It's awesome. He just bought a really expensive new machine, and he can bang out an alignment on a Mini like that. And I'm telling you, with new molten cones, adjustable lower arms, adjustable tie rods, and adjustable rear camber plates, and an alignment from Garth, you can go down the highway with your pinky on the steering wheel in a Mini. It's unbelievable. Okay? So, next down the list, of course, is the ignition. You know, 1, the suspension. Number 2, the ignition system. And I've gone through this before. I like the 60,000 volt coil. I like iridium spark plugs. I like the flamethrower distributor with vacuum advance and the igniter 2 in it, and new spark plug wires. Don't replace one thing. Replace the whole. This is a component. This is an ignition component. So don't just replace one of the items. Replace them all. It's all got to work. All right. That's number 3. 1, 2. Number 3. It just seems like every car that rolls in here has a wore-out carburetor. Old SU carburetors are wore out. The throttle shafts leak. They have vacuum leaks. They're wore out. So we like brand new, not rebuilt, 1.3" HIF carburetors. That is like the trifecta. That's the holy trinity of minis right there. The suspension, the ignition, and the carburetor.
You're using 1 3/4 on all sizes of engine?
From 850 to 998, 1098, 1275s, and fire-breathing 1380s.
Single.
One single 1.3" HIF carburetor. Mike Kearney and those guys down at 7, his brother is racing. He's vintage racing with a single 1.3" on there. Not a Weber. It works great, guys. We had an 850. We had probably I'd say the hottest, funnest, most fast 850 ever. It was just a single 1.3" HIF. So that carburetor works on everything. The only thing you have to change is your spring and your needle to suit your engine. That's it. And it's easy. And we found that it's usually either the 4.5-ounce red spring or the yellow spring. On a 1275, it seems like it's the BFM and the BDL needle. We used to use a BDC, but that is too rich. Dave, hold up those carburetors behind you. Look at that. Vanna, that is a twin 1.3" HIF setup. Now I've got that on my moat. That's on an MGB manifold. That's going on, don't tell anybody. It's going on an MGB. But those carburetors work so well. I mean, we're just really pleased with them. You know, the rest of the stuff on the table is all bling, you know, shiny, fun, cool parts. But mechanically speaking, really, it's the suspension, the ignition, and the carburetor. those three things, you can make any Mini run really, really well with those three things. If you don't have disc brakes in your drum brakes, get disc brakes. This is 2015. You don't need to be running drum brakes. You've got to put disc brakes on your car.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bill. So, you know,
Your
the
drums
rest of
are
the
fine.
stuff I just set out on the table for you guys to fondle and have some fun and go over. It's about that time. So,
Yeah.
thank you all very much. Yes.
That front suspension stuff,
Yes.
as best I can tell, my car crashed on Wednesday,
Yeah, Ken had an accident.
and it went airborne probably over 3 feet in the air and came down on the front end. And I've used all those parts and all the motorsports. My motor and all that seems to be perfectly fine. My front end, I don't think the alignment is even fouled up, as best I can tell so far.
Yeah.
So that's how sturdy that stuff is. I was over 3 feet in the air when I landed.
You know, one of the comments I got was, "Wow, these are pretty heavy." Yeah, they're not lightweight racing, but you know what? We're a street car, and just for that reason, Ken had a pretty big moment. And these are heavy duty. They're called heavy duty.
Yeah,
Adjustable
I
lower
don't.
control arms.
I looked under there and nothing seems to be any different than before.
If you look at a race car, they have that doesn't feel that heavy to me, but it is also considered heavy duty. I want strong on my street
But
car.
look at how the original one is just that little thin rod.
Oh, they're all bent.
My whole front end would have folded under if I didn't have all that stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Ken. Well, I got you. Tell us why you like grill buttons.
Because it saves me about a half hour every time I do something on my car.
He
now,
said.
now Jeremy,
Yeah.
I've told him every car that comes in here, the first thing you should sell him is that. He did not do that for me. We did a bunch of work on my car, and I think I had the grill out at least over 15 times. And one day I'm over here fooling around with these knobs, and I go, "What are they?" And they tell me they're the grill knobs.
The grill buttons.
Even though it saved me a fortune of time
He said, "I'm doing everyone a disservice
by
if
not
I,
putting those on
if I
day
don't
one.
make you guys buy grill buttons." So,
We're gonna fire up the air car.
no.
Oh.
I was. Friday was so insane around here. I had more people than this in here. It was crazy, and we didn't get to it. It's not ready. It is, but I just don't. It's not ready.
Yeah, you don't want to rush it.
No, don't make me rush
It's
it.
Eric's car. He's fired
It's
up.
Eric's car. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, right, Eric? Put the camera on
it's-
yourself.
That's
I don't care.
If you want me to, I'll turn the key.
Yeah, all right.
But no.
Let's turn the key.
Just don't start it.
Yeah, practice what we preach.
We
here,
haven't.
huh?
This car was a shell when he brought it to us. All right. We haven't even hooked up the battery yet. I mean, it's there. But if I make the connections, I want to make sure everything is, don't let the smoke out, right? You do not want to let the smoke out of the wiring harness. Once that smoke's out, you can't put it back in. However, I did see a jar on the internet for Lucas smoke. You could